but under grace. Now, go back. See, there's a lot in those verses, isn't there? I mean, that takes, you need to devote, several thousand hours to meditating on that. Now, over a long period of time. But you need to start committing some serious time to make it your goal, if you could, if it's possible to do that, to become an expert in those verses. In other words, you need to know them backwards and forwards and everything about them. Find out what the Greek is, everything you can find. That's why it pays to check other translations. Read other books on teachings on that. You study everything you can find. And you're just trying to consume yourself. I want to know everything that's in there. Praise God. But now look at verse 6, though. It says this, knowing this. So Paul is saying, here's something that you need to know. Right there, stop and think about that. He said, knowing this, or he's saying, I'm about to tell you something you need to know. Okay, what is it, Paul? What do we need to know? Well, here's what you need to know. You need to know that your old man was crucified with Jesus. So Paul, by the Spirit of God, is telling the church, you need to know that. Do you know that you were crucified with Christ? You need to know that. Did you know it was actually your old man who was crucified with Christ and died with Christ? That's why he's dead now. Remember, graveyard dead. Of all those that died with Christ, there were no survivors. He said, so you need to know this. You need to know that your old man was crucified with Jesus. Now, listen, that means it's the same as saying so that. So that, here's the result of that. So that the body of sin might be done away with. Some translations say rendered inoperative, rendered inactive. So that we should no longer be slaves of sin. So Paul is telling us here that there's a connection that you're going to see between knowing that the old man is dead and being able to live a holy, righteous life now in your body. See, this revelation of the mystery of Christ isn't just something just spiritual, like I said, just so we can learn theology and make an A on the Bible school test. No, Paul is telling us, as you understand it, how this applies to your life. He's actually telling you, by understanding what it means to have been crucified and died with Christ, this will set you free. This will give you a revelation on how you can now live a holy life and you don't have to yield to sin in your life anymore. You can live a godly life on this earth, like God intends for us to do. But he said this, he said, you need to know that the old man is dead.